Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you this beautiful Gibson Howard Roberts custom. I think it's a 74, I'm not sure. But I'm going to show you some period correct guitar voicings that go along with this thing. And I'm also going to tell you a couple stories about the time I met Howard. And some stories I got from Dr. John about how they used to make sessions together with Phil Spectra. And I think you'll enjoy this one. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Shane Terrio here. Thank you for joining me again today. Man, what happened? It smells like jazz in here all of a sudden. Nah, it's just a little acid jazz jam for you guys. Today I thought we'd talk about this guitar. I don't play it as much as I should. And it's a really unique kind of special guitar. It's a Gibson Howard Roberts custom. I believe it's a 1974. I'm not sure. But I bought it pretty much sight unseen off of eBay. I took a chance and bought it because I was going on tour with a singer named Madeline Peru, and I needed a real deal archtop, and I didn't really have any good ones. So I bought this, and it turned out to be a great guitar. And I'm a big Howard Roberts fan. You know, we talk about Howard a lot on my my channel, which we're going to do today. So talk you a little bit about this guitar, tell you some stories that go along with it, tell you my Howard Roberts story, and a couple of tie-ins to Dr. John and Howard Roberts. And I'm going to show you a couple of little voicings. So first, the guitar. Okay, like I said, I bought this sight unseen. And I'm not a big gear guy, so I don't know. A lot of you guys out there know way more than me. But it is based on a 175. But it obviously has this oval sound hole. I think they made two colors, the sunburst and the wine. I love the wine color. I wanted a wine color, but they only had this. And they have went up in value over the years. I just checked on it. The unique thing about this, I did a little research before this. It has a floating pickup design, which was Howard's design. And the neck is also kind of floating. I think it's got a rosewood bridge. It doesn't have a tune-o-matic. Right now, I have flats on it. It's got a beautiful headstock. I think Epiphone made the first version of this guitar, and then Gibson took over. But it's got this beautiful, what is that called? Volute. Some people don't like those. I think it's really cool. I guess it stabilizes the neck. This guitar has been, I took it all over Europe. As a matter of fact, when I opened the case, they still had set lists from Europe. I actually just flew it in the case, checked it everywhere. It's several trips to Europe. I did a lot of playing with this guitar. It's got a low output pickup, so it's a very beautiful mellow. I'm playing through a twin reverb with some reverb. I love that the brochure that's enclosed in the original case says that it was for today's jazz rock musician. I don't know which jazz rock musician besides Larry Coryell would play this, but it said it was a very versatile instrument. I mean, one pickup, I'm not sure how versatile, but what makes this guitar a little different are the tone knobs. One of them is a mid-cut or mid-boost, and the other is like a treble cut. I just kind of turned it to where they sounded good. You know, I don't know really, but you can get a lot of different sounds with it. With the flats on it now, it sort of lends itself more definitely towards, jazz, bebop kind of thing. But when you put just regular, I don't know, maybe 11 nickels on it, it sounds great. Here's the mellow side of it. make a little loop. The thing about these type of guitars is there's no sustain, so it really makes you work hard. It really makes every note. You have to be really precise. All right, let me show you guys a couple of $10 voicings since I have this guitar. Check out this voicing. Ooh, that's juicy. That's an expensive voicing. That is an E sharp 9, sharp 5. It's a little tricky to play, but listen how it resolves to like an A minor. Beautiful. So let me show you that. Open E string, and then we're using the first finger to play the 11th fret, 5th string. The tricky part is we're going to use the middle finger and play the 12th fret, 4th and 3rd strings. So you have to kind of flat your finger there. My pinky is playing the sharp 5, which is the 13th fret, 2nd string. My ring finger is playing that E up on top. You have to tilt your wrist back to get that. It's not really that hard, but beautiful voicing. That's a Howard voicing, Howard Roberts. So it's, you know, it spells out root 3rd, flat 7. I guess that would be a, what is that? A flat 3rd up an octave would be the sharp 9, sharp 5, and then the root on top. And then to resolve it, let's pick another $10 chord. Here's an A minor 6-9. That one's easier. 10th fret, 1st string. I'm sorry, 10th fret, 4th string, 1st finger. 2nd finger is playing the F sharp, middle finger, 11th fret. And then we use our pinky, or you could use your ring finger, to play the 2nd and 1st strings on the 12th fret. So just beautiful, fun to play those kind of voicings on these kind of guitars. Love those voicings. Let me tell you guys a couple funny Howard Roberts stories. I only got to meet him once or twice. I mean, he was pretty old by the time I was at GIT. But they would always have a announcement saying, hey, special class with Howard Roberts or with so-and-so and so-and-so. Because Howard was living in Seattle at that time. He had left LA. And then there would be a line full of guitar players. Thursday, 10 a.m., Howard Roberts. And everybody would wait. No Howard, no show. And then a few months later, Howard Roberts again, you know, Friday, 11 o'clock, room blah, blah. No Howard. So that happened like 3 times. So finally, like the next summer or something, Howard Roberts, Thursday, room 328, whatever. I showed up and there was maybe 5 other guys. Here comes Howard. There he was. The hat, the sunglasses, the hard shell case, cigarette, Mr. Cool. And he walks into class and he looks at the clock and he goes, what should I show you guys today? What do you want to work on? I can't imitate him, but he had sort of a high voice. And he's like, I'm going to show you guys how to reharmonize a tune. And it's basically what you don't even learn in 2 years of college. I'm going to show you. And how long do we have? Yeah, about 2 hours. So he showed us how to, it's a little complicated for this lesson, but he showed us how to start on a melody note on a real book tune, and using root movement, strong root movements. He had a chart of like fourth and fifth and how they resolve the root movements. Start on the melody note and write backwards and reharmonize the tune. And within an hour, we were reharmonizing stuff. It was amazing. It was like a miniature orchestration class. The guy was brilliant. I'm a big fan. Another story I have, I used to work with Dr. John. I got to know him really well. Produced his last record and spent a lot of time with him. He loved Howard. And one day I had this guitar in the studio. I call him Mac Rabenak. And Mac came over, he goes, "Where you get that guitar, Shazane?" My name was Shazane. That's what he called me, Shazane. I said, "Mac, this is a Gibson Howard Roberts. I was using it." He goes, "I know. I knew Howard Roberts." Here's what he says. He goes, "I used to make sessions with him." And I forgot. Of course, Mac was in the Wrecking Crew, and Howard was the early Wrecking Crew with Tedesco and Barney Kessel. And Mac said, "We used to make sessions with Phil Spectra." And a lot of people don't know this, but Mac actually played piano on one of the first sessions he did was Zappa, Freak Out. He's actually on that record. There's a bunch of players that weren't credited. I think Howard Roberts or Tedesco's on there too. And so anyway, Mac loved Howard, and he goes, "Howard Roberts was a dirty guitar player." I go, "Man, I have that on vinyl, Mac." So back then he called it his iPod. So I made him, copies off the vinyl. And he loved Howard. He told me a bunch of cool stories with him. And when Mac, right before he passed away, I got to see him where he was at in this hospital. It was pretty sad. And I went over there and brought some music, just sat with him, and we listened to Howard Roberts. Last few weeks he was around. So that's my Mac story. There's a bunch of other ones with Howard. But the only time I got to meet Howard was I think I was 19, and it was in Hollywood here at GIT, and I had his book Super Chops. And I was so scared, and there he was in the cafeteria, and I walked up to him and I said, "Mr. Roberts, I have a question for you." I asked him something about the book, and he was like, "You should do it the way I wrote it. That's the way it should be done." I said, "Oh, okay." And I got him to autograph a book I have that my grandmother gave me years ago. It's she bought it at a yard sale. It's all these famous guitar players, and I've slowly made my way through some of them. So I got Howard to autograph that. But anyway, that's my story. Yeah, so these are great guitars. I mean, they have went up in value, like I said, but I think you could probably find one if you're interested. I don't play it enough. I was actually thinking of selling it or bringing it to Norm's or something, but every time I pick it up, I just love it. And, maybe I should get some more use out of it. So that's my only real deal jazz box. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hey, give me a like, subscribe if you dug this. I know a lot of people that watch it, even though watch the whole thing, they don't subscribe. So I really help me out. Give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Terrio out.